Good morning, students, to the online class of English. This is your teacher, Meenakshi Sambyal. Today, I'll be teaching you Unit 2, The Sound of Music. The unit has two parts. Part 1 is Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. This is the title of the lesson. The lesson is written by Deborah Cowley. Now, before we proceed with the chapter, let's discuss. God may have taken her hearing, but He has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. Someone has commented this about Evelyn. He says that although God took away her hearing power, she was impaired, but He gave her an extraordinary thing, and that was the sense of feeling. She could feel very deeply, far more deeply than the normal people. And that is why she was able to express music so beautifully, so well. She is a well-known multi-percussionist. She plays different percussion instruments like xylophone, drums. Now this lesson has 10 paragraphs. I'm going to read each and every paragraph one by one, and I'll be giving you explanation of the paragraph after reading it. Russia crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform. A slight girl looking younger than her 17 years was nervous yet excited about as she felt the vibrations of the approaching train. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. Now here is the explanation of Para 1. The scene is of the train platform. It is underground and there is a huge rush at the platform. People are pushing each other to get way. There is a small thin girl. It is Evelyn. Evelyn is standing at the railway platform waiting for the train. And just as she feels the vibration of the approaching train, she realizes that the train is about to come. She gets nervous and excited. This is the train that will take Evelyn to London. She is going to London to learn music as she has got admission in the Royal Academy of Music. Evelyn belongs to Scotland. Scotland is a country in Europe. Life in Scotland is not as fast as in London. So that is why Evelyn is nervous, because she is leaving Scotland for London. And she is excited also because she is doing something that she always dreamt of. She is going to the Royal Academy of Music to learn music. Evelyn is a teenager. As Evelyn is from Scotland, which has more of farms and countryside, so she has not seen the fast life. That is why she is nervous, and the writer says that she is fresh from a Scottish farm. Evelyn could not hear, and this was a bigger challenge for her. Moving from a rural area to a fast life was a smaller challenge. Evelyn faced a much bigger challenge, that was her inability to hear. Paragraph 2. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. They called her name and she didn't move. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard, says Evelyn Glennie. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. Explanation of paragraph 2. Slowly, slowly, she started losing the power of hearing, and one day she was absolutely deaf. Isabel Glennie is the name of Evelyn's mother. Evelyn's mother, Isabel, recollects one incident when Evelyn was 8 years old. She says that Evelyn was waiting for her turn to play the piano, but when her name was called out, she did not respond. And her mother realized that Evelyn did not respond to her name. That means she did not hear her name being called out. As Evelyn lost her sense of hearing in phases, it was a gradual process. In the beginning, when she could hear partially, she managed to hide this disability from her friends and teachers. When Evelyn was 11 years old, her marks started deteriorating. The headmistress requested her parents to take Evelyn to the doctor. When the doctor checked upon Evelyn, he found out that Evelyn had lost the sense of hearing. The doctor advised Evelyn's parents that they should get hearing aids for her. Hearing aids is an equipment that is fitted into your ear and it helps a person to hear to some extent. He also suggested that Evelyn should be sent to school for the deaf children. When Evelyn discovered that she could not hear and that she would be sent to a school for deaf children, that she was not as good as normal children, her world became colorless. It turned black. Now what does this mean? Everything suddenly looked black. It means that all of a sudden you get such bad news. You get some news that you don't expect. And in return you see hopelessness all around you. That is how Evelyn responded to this news. But Evelyn was not going to give up. She was determined to live a normal life and pursue her interest in music. One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to play it too. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. He began by tuning two large drums to different notes. Don't listen through your ears, he would say. Try to sense it some other way, says Evelyn. Suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one from the waist down. Forbes repeated the exercise and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. The rest was sheer hard work and determination. Explanation of paragraph 3. This shows Evelyn had determination. Although Evelyn got such a shocking news, still she was determined and she did not want to give up. As Evelyn was passionate about music, this news also did not break her. She was determined to live life like normal people and follow her interest in music. When Evelyn saw a girl playing the xylophone is a musical instrument with a row of wooden bars of different lengths. She wanted to play it too. Now, on one hand, Evelyn's teachers discouraged her because they knew that she could not hear and hearing was an important part of music. But Ron Forbes saw that Evelyn was very passionate about music and so he decided something. Ron Forbes thought that he would teach Evelyn to feel music. He took two large drums and he tuned them to different notes. Drums are musical instruments and he tuned them. He tuned each drum to different notes, so the sound produced by the drums was different. It was distinct. Both the drums made different sounds. Then he told Evelyn. He said that she should not try to listen through her ears. He said that she should try to sense it and try to feel the music some other way. Now, as Ron had tuned both the drums to different notes, the upper part of Evelyn's body, above the waist, could feel the higher notes of the drum, and the lower part of her body, the part down from the waist, could feel the lower notes of drum. This is how Evelyn can listen to sound although she cannot hear. She can sense different notes in different parts of her body. Now, once she could identify the sounds and vibrations, The hurdle had been overcome and Evelyn's career went upward. As she had determination to become famous, a good musician, and she also did a lot of hard work. So she became quite successful. Here you can see the xylophone, Ron Forbes, who played a very important role in Evelyn's success and understanding of music. Paragraph 4. She never looked back from that point onwards. She toured the United Kingdom with a youth orchestra, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of the Academy. She gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performances. At the end of a 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. Explanation of paragraph 4. Once Evelyn overcame the hurdle, the obstacle, she started sensing the different sounds to the different parts of her body. She progressed in her career. So Evelyn toured the United Kingdom and performed with a youth orchestra. By the time Evelyn reached the age of 16 years, she had decided to make music her life. Evelyn gave an audition for the admission to the Royal Academy of Music and her score was the highest in the history of the Academy. No other person had scored such a high score as Evelyn did. So initially, Evelyn performed in a group, and as she got well in her music, as she got confident, she started performing alone. She had achieved all the top awards by the time she had completed her 3-year course at the Royal Academy of Music. Paragraph 5. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. If you work hard and know where you are going, you'll get there. And she got right to the top, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist with a mastery of some 1,000 instruments and hectic international schedule. Explanation of paragraph 5. If anyone says that Evelyn has done something great, she does not acknowledge that. She is very humble and down to earth. Evelyn says that 2 important things for success are, firstly, hard work, and secondly, aim. She says that if you work hard and you have an aim, a target which you have to achieve, then you will definitely achieve it. So, Evelyn also achieved her goal. She worked hard and she had an aim to become the topmost, the most famous, the most sought after musician of the world, and she did that. She gained mastery of almost 1,000 musical instruments and she is the most popular multi-percussionist of the world. She has a very busy schedule. She has programs and concerts all over the world. Paragraph 6. It is intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. In our 2-hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. It is not just watching the lips, it's the whole face, especially the eyes. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11, she says. But that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. Explanation of paragraph 6. When you watch Evelyn work or perform so effortlessly, although she cannot hear, you get very curious because Evelyn can identify the slightest, the minutest sound made by the musical instruments. Now the writer Deborah Cowley took Evelyn's interview, which lasted for 2 hours, and Deborah says that Evelyn never missed a single word that she spoke. Evelyn says that those men who have long, huge, bushy beards give her trouble. Why do they give her trouble? Because when they speak, she cannot see their lip movement as their lips are covered with the bushy beards. Evelyn says that she does not only see the lip movement of the person's face to make out what the person is speaking. She sees the whole face. That means the entire expression of the face of the speaker makes Evelyn identify or know what the person is saying. She adds, the expression of the eyes helps Evelyn make out what the person sitting in front of her is saying. The writer says that Evelyn's speech is flawless and she has a Scottish accent. As she belongs to Scotland, her voice has that accent. Evelyn says that she can speak clearly because she had learned the language she studied till the age of 11, till the time she could hear. But after becoming deaf, Evelyn also learned 2 new languages. She has learned French and basic Japanese. So, one wonders that how could she learn these 2 new languages also despite her deafness. Paragraph 7. As for music, she explains, it pours in through every part of my body. It tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. By leaning against the drums, she can feel the resonances flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare feet and upper legs. Explanation of paragraph 7. So here Evelyn explains that how does she identify music? It creates sensation in her skin, in her cheekbones, and even in her hair. So every part of Evelyn's body responds to music. When she plays the xylophone, she uses sticks and she can sense the vibrations of the sound produced by the xylophone pass through the sticks up into her fingertips. When Evelyn plays the drum, she leans toward the drum and she can feel the echo flowing into her body. Whenever Evelyn performs, she performs on a wooden platform and she removes her shoes so that she can feel the vibrations of the musical instruments pass through the floor into her feet and up her legs. That is how she can feel the sound of the musical instruments. Paragraph 8. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audiences. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. Says master percussionist James Blades, God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels, far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. Explanation of paragraph 8. Now, Evelyn is a delight to hear. Her solo performances are outstanding. In the year 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award for performing solo. James Blades is a master percussionist, and his words were the ones that we had read before we started reading the chapter. According to James, God took away Evelyn's hearing ability, but in return, he gave her a strong power of sensing sound which enabled her to become a great musician. Paragraph 9. Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic. I've just got to work, often harder than classical musicians. But the rewards are enormous. Apart from the regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. She also gives high priority to classes for young musicians. Anne Richland of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says, she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. Explanation of paragraph 9. Now, to be at par with those people who can hear, who are classical musicians, Evelyn works very hard. Evelyn says that the rewards she gets for her hard work are huge and big. Evelyn does charity also. She gives free concerts in hospitals and prisons. She also takes classes for young musicians. For those children who want to learn music, Evelyn is an inspiration for all. She is an ideal. Anne Richland, who belongs to the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children, says that Evelyn is an inspiration for those children who cannot hear. And when they get to know Evelyn's story, they feel that they can accomplish everything. They can also fulfill their dreams. You can see here Evelyn Glennie playing the xylophone, and in the next picture she is with the drum. So we understand now how she can feel the vibrations from these musical instruments. This is the last paragraph of the text. Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped, people who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions. Explanation of paragraph 10. Evelyn Glennie has achieved so much in life that those people who are double her age have also not achieved those many things, that much popularity and those many awards as Evelyn has done. Orchestra is a group of people who are playing different musical instruments, and generally the percussion instruments like the drums and the xylophone are placed at the back end of the orchestra, or they are placed at the side. But as Evelyn performs solo, she gives special performances with these percussion instruments. The percussion instruments have come in front of the orchestra. Evelyn's story is an inspiration to those people who are physically disabled. They feel that if Evelyn can achieve her dreams, even they can. And Evelyn has given a lot of pleasure to her audience by playing such good music. So students, this brings us to the end of the lesson. Now, the story of Evelyn Glennie, it is a motivational story. It inspires all of us to overcome our physical disabilities and achieve our dreams and goals just like Evelyn did. I hope you have understood the lesson, students. If you have any doubt, you can clarify your doubts in the doubt clearing session, which will be conducted tomorrow. Have a good day.